Citizen Bull. Better than ever coming to the 16th pole. He is back in a big way. Citizen Bull leads them all the way. Another Robert B. Lewis for Bob Baffert.
Welcome to this episode of Talking Racehorses. I'm the Horse Reactor, and this episode is on Citizen Bull. To be honest, he was my pick for this year's Kentucky Derby, but ended up losing. And also, I know his sire because I've heard a lot about him. And I've heard a lot on his grandsire on both his father's side and his mother's side. Citizen Bull has Harlan's Holiday on his father's side and Distorted Humor on his mother's side. Anyways, owned by SF Racing, Starlight Racing, Matticat Stables, Robert E. Masterson, Stone Street Stables, Diane Basher, Determined Stables, Tom J. Ryan, Waves Edge Capital, and Catherine Donovan. My God, this horse has a lot of owners. You might as well just put this guy on on my racehorse. Trained by Bob Baffert, and so far he's really doing good in his racing career. $1,556,000. Damn, that's a lot of money so far. Anyways, he was purchased as a yearling for $675,000 from TaylorMade Sales. Also, he's going to be retiring by the end of the year after the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. That's what I heard. So I decided to make this quick episode on him. So, as a 2-year-old in 2024, didn't win that many races, won 3 out of 4 times that he ran. He won a maiden special weight at Del Mar, and then he won the Del Mar Futurity. Then he went to Santa Anita to compete in the American Pharoah Stakes. Then he went back to Del Mar to compete in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. In the Del Mar Futurity, he came in 3rd, but the maiden special weight and American Pharoah Stakes and Breeders' Cup Juvenile all came in 1st. And also, he was the favorite for the Futurity and the Robert B. Lewis this year. I actually do remember seeing him in the Robert B. Lewis, actually. I said that he was going to win, and what do you know? He did. And also, they kept changing his jockey from Martin Garcia to Mike Smith and Juan Hernandez. And he didn't race at all. He barely raced this year. Last year, a maiden special weight, Del Mar Futurity, American Pharoah Stakes, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. This year, that was last year, by the way, all those races I just mentioned. This year, as a 3-year-old, the Robert B. Lewis, the Santa Anita Derby, the Kentucky Derby, which I did bet him to win, but he came in 15th. Then he ran in the Woodward. Not the Woodward. That's at Saratoga, silly Willie. He ran in the Woody Stevens. My bad. And then he ran in the Shared Belief Stakes. And he was the favorite for that one too, as well as the Robert B. Lewis and the Del Mar Futurity. He's going to be retiring by the end of the year after the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. And his record this year, for his career, is 9 starts, 5 wins, 0 seconds, 1 third, and 1 15th. Last year, he only got 1 award, and that was Champion 2-Year-Old Male Horse for 2024. Who knows? Maybe he'll get a different award this year for when when they have the Eclipse Awards. Who knows? Trained by Bob Baffert, and you really think that he would have done well in the Kentucky Derby. I mean, like, he got the lead and then all of a sudden failed to win the race. And they had Sovereignty win. And also, like I said, they should have put this horse up on myracehorse.com because he has a lot of owners. And actually, that was at the Keeneland September yearling sale in 2023. So, I thought it was a tailor-made sale. I mean, like, just a sale at TaylorMade Farms or something. I guess I might have thought wrong on that. Yeah, so who knows? Maybe Citizen Bull will go out a winner in his final race of his career at the end of the year. And who knows? Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but hopefully he does. There's not that much to say on this horse because his career is going to be short because he's only going to run for 2 years. He ain't going to run as a 4-year-old or anything. But what can you do? I mean, like, you can't have them keep racing their entire lives. Yeah. So, anyways, Citizen Bull, good luck to you in your next start, which will be your final start of your career. And hopefully you do go out a winner. So, anyways, one more thing that I want to say is that he actually has a Kentucky Derby winner in his pedigree. And that's unbridled. So I guess he couldn't... Actually, no. He's got 2 Derby winners in his pedigree. Unbridled and affirmed. So, who knew that he would have 2 Derby winners in his pedigree? Also, I've heard of another horse that's in his pedigree, 49er. He was a pretty tough horse. Also, he's really... I mean, Citizen Bull is related to Secretariat. Because every horse that ran in this year's Kentucky Derby were all related to him. Well, not related to Citizen Bull, but they were all related to Secretariat. Anyways, that's a wrap on this episode of Talking Racehorses. Bye.